It's your boy DJ Wolf here. Got a couple of things on my mind. As an African American man, I sometimes feel slighted. Many times, really a lot of times, you feel like we're the most, and it's true, we are the most disrespected of any male race in America. And I don't care what anybody says, that's a known fact. I'll give you a prime example. If you are an African American man in a healthy relationship with a woman, right, and you have a healthy relationship with your wife or girlfriend, what have you, other people tend to get jealous of that. Not only women, but guys too, which is, I find extremely weird. And because I've been in many situations where you'll come in contact with other people, but other people tend to lean their respect towards the woman over you. You know how I know this? Because my dad was in a similar situation back in the day when I lived at home. Everybody was all aced up and friendly towards my mom, but when it came around my dad, it was just like he wasn't even in the room. Seriously. I mean, he was in the room, but they just, you could tell they were just kind of like, not standing off, they were just kind of like this. It wasn't like he was acknowledged as much. He probably may disagree with me on that, but I've seen it happen. But I kind of noticed that with myself as well, and especially in 2017, man. It act like you're not even, like you're not acknowledged equally or at all. Some people may not understand where I'm coming from, but those do know what I'm talking about. And I've been in a lot of those situations like that. Because we're looking at, I feel personally, as a man, sometimes I feel I'm looked at as a second-class citizen. We've been dogged all our lives, man. We were the ones in this culture and in this country as the ones that are most likely not to succeed. It's a stigma attached to it. But we know it's not true. Many of us have been successful doing what we do. Just staying afloat is successful to me. But there's always a stigma attached to us as black American males. It always has been. That hasn't been like the case with women. I know I heard there was a hangout that I watched yesterday. But women were trying to say, and when it comes to the culture, they were the real victims. And I'm going to say, not true. When it comes to our culture in America, the black American male has always been the most persecuted, the most downgraded, the most bamboozled, the most abused, and the most misused of any minority culture in this country outside of American Indians. I don't care what anybody say. That's a known fact. It's a known fact. It's funny that we dominate sports, but yet, for the most part, there's not a black sports owner that owns their own stadium in this country. At least not in the major professional sports anyway. Not a one. Not a one. Think about that. Yeah, you have figureheads or presidents of different teams and ball clubs and stuff like that. But as far as actual owners that owns outright the team, the logo, and the stadium, no. That has never happened in this country. And maybe one day it will, but right now it's not happening. That same thing goes for entertainment. You know, you got Tyler Perry, but Tyler Perry really, to be honest, he's a mogul, but he ain't the mogul that I think he could be. To be honest, he does own his own studio, but I think his studio is leased out in partnership with somebody else. Notice Tyler Perry ain't been cranking out movies like that the last couple of years. He does like one movie a year now. You would think he'd be doing 2 or 3 right about now. But then again, he has, you know, he does, he's involved with television, so, and he still do occasional plays, but still, just saying. But his movie studios ain't cranking movies out like they used to. I know that. But that's another story. But there aren't any major motion picture studio owners that are black. No, not a one. That's also a known fact. All right? There's a lot of major stuff we don't own as African American men. But part of that is because of the stigma of our culture that we can't do what everybody else do. You know, black women talking about, well, we're slighted too. No, y'all not quite slighted. Not really. Not really. If anything, the black American woman, and this is a fact, has always been held in higher regards than the African American male. Always have throughout history, even throughout slavery, on some respect. You know, we've been treated as second-class citizens all our lives, still are. You know, and it shows in our culture. You know, a mother with 5, 6 kids is still held in higher regards than the average African American male. And then say, well, she's struggling because she got these kids. Well, in today's standards, she's struggling she got them kids because she didn't try to do anything before she got them kids. You know? And that's in a lot of cases. Not all, but in a lot of cases, that's true. You know? And the same type of women they get away with everywhere. You know? In the clubs, on the job, everywhere else, you know, but they're held in higher regards. They are. That's a known fact, and I don't care what anybody say. You know, look at it. These women, the same women, they get child support and they get assistance for kids. Guys can't get that. They raising kids by themselves. But a woman can. And it's irrelevant if she's working or not. They're going to get that anyway. You know. Just saying. There are some cases where guys are getting child support from their baby mama because the guy's taking care of kids. A lot of them aren't. You know. You got stories of women abusing kids all the time. I hear a lot of stories about... I rarely hear stories about guys abusing kids. Their children. Not to say that it doesn't happen, because it does happen, but not nearly as much as what women do when they abuse their kids. I hear dozens of stories about it all the time. Yeah. And they continue to do the same thing. I heard one right out here in the DMV. Woman abused her, had killed a kid, child, went to jail for a minute, came back, had another one, did the same thing. Yeah. She got off. Don't make any damn sense. It really don't. It really don't. You know, that is a crime in itself. You know, it's an absolute crime in itself. But in any case, just wanted to get that off my chest, man. You know, I kind of feel like that African American men, no matter how high we get, I mean, now I can honestly say this. Look at former President Barack Obama. He was a sharp-dressed man. You know, he was one of the coolest looking presidents I've ever seen. Let's be real about that. He always kept a cool head for the most part. And even though there's some things I question that he should have been doing that he didn't do, I still respect him as president. But then he didn't get support. He didn't get support from, in some cases, some things he didn't get support from his own people. You know? I'll say that. And there were other times where he should have been, issues he should have been out in front on, he wasn't. And it was clear he should have been, and he didn't. But he wasn't getting respect from white people no matter what, just because he was black. You know? Just because he was black. Harvard law professor. Rhodes Scholar. He was a major Rhodes Scholar, and yet he got no love. He got no love as a man, as a black man. You know? Because, to be honest, white people, they don't care how high you get. There's some black people like that too. White people don't care how high you get. They always want to make sure you're a few pegs down above them. Let me say it again. They always want to make sure that you are a few pegs down below them. I'm sorry. Below them, not above, below them. Because after all, they know no matter what, we have been known to accomplish great things, and we've been able to get over the hump by achieving and working and doing. And they know once we're at that point that we can actually go out and make great things happen. What is this fool doing? But yet, they still want control of you, regardless of what you're doing. And I think personally, it's time for us as a community to take back the reins of our pride and get it in order. Get our pride in order. Because that's something I think that we don't have much of anymore, is pride. We get the pride back, we can be destined for greatness. That's the bottom line. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got to say right now. Of course, you know how to reach me. Question, comments for All to Hear TV on YouTube, for All to Hear on Twitter, for All to Hear gmail.com, for All to Hear on Facebook. DJ Wolf Line also on Facebook, and DJ Wolf Live, or DJ Wolf Online, I'm sorry. DJ Wolf Live on Facebook, and DJ Wolf Online at yahoo.com. Alright guys, this is DJ Wolf. That's all I have to say right now. I got more stuff to say on the back burner. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out.